Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, August the 5th, 2024, and welcome back to another weather video. In this video, we're going to be talking about, of course, Debby. Debby has officially made landfall in Florida. It made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane, winds of 80 miles, sorry, 75 miles per hour when it made landfall. Now it's weakened back down into a tropical storm, 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm. And right now we're dealing with a lot of rain in Georgia, Florida, and starting now to move into the southern sections of South Carolina. So the Hilton Head area, Charleston is now starting to get into the rain, and it's not going to end. It's not going to stop for the next couple of days. So we're going to get into all of this. We're going to get into potentially catastrophic flooding into South Carolina and some parts of Georgia. We're going to get into the wind, how much wind are we going to see, storm surge. It's just going to be a big video about what's going on with Debby. So let's go and move into the track. So right now, this is Zoom Earth, a site that I use to track hurricanes. But let's move into the official track of this storm. So as you can see on your screen, right now it is in Florida. Right now, based on the 11 a.m. update today, this yellowish area right here is tropical storm force winds. So that's when the winds are tropical storm force greater than 39 miles per hour. And then we still have those tropical storm warnings that have been issued for the Big Bend of Florida down to the Tampa Bay area. And we also have tropical storm warnings now into southern parts of South Carolina, that southern coastline, and as well as the coast of Georgia and northeastern Florida. So as we get into tonight, the storm will slowly move into southeastern Georgia. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, it will be around the Savannah area. The center of the storm will be around the Savannah area. And literally from Tuesday morning until Wednesday morning, it's only going to move a couple hundred miles, literally back into the Atlantic Ocean, just maybe off the coast of Charleston. And literally from 8 a.m. Wednesday to 8 a.m. Thursday, it's only going to move that little bit. Sorry, I zoomed out. It's only going to move that bit. You see how slow this storm is going to move? That's why we have a potential for catastrophic, life-threatening flooding into South Carolina and Georgia with this storm. So it's going to be a very, very active couple of days here in South Carolina and Georgia. And then potentially as we get into Thursday morning, it will make a second landfall, maybe as a hurricane. I don't know. But right now, it is going to make a landfall as a storm. Let me go back to Zoom Earth. It's going to make a landfall as a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm as we get into Thursday morning. Maybe it might even potentially develop into a hurricane, Cat 1 hurricane, just like it did with Florida. It might hit South Carolina as a Category 1 hurricane. We don't know yet. But what we do know is it's going to make a landfall somewhere, maybe North Carolina, South Carolina. It's going to make a landfall. So let's get into the conditions. Who's going to see those tropical storm force winds? I'm pulling up right now. Okay, here we go. Let me share this tab. Okay, so in this purple area, that basically means 100% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds for this area. And then as we get into this orangey, kind of dark orange, dark yellowish color, that's anywhere from a 50 to 60 to 70 mile per hour. 70 mile per hour. I'm thinking about tropical storm winds. 70% chance of tropical storm winds for this area. So that means the Savannah area, Hilton Head, not quite at Charleston, but it's probably going to, the National Hurricane Center is probably going to up those chances for tropical storm force winds into Charleston and even into Hilton Head and into Wilmington. So we're definitely going to have tropical storm force winds. Of course, hurricane force winds is a possibility, but we don't know yet. We don't know what this storm is going to do yet, because right now it's forecast to still be a tropical storm as it makes landfall and kind of just skirts around the South Carolina coast as we get into the next couple of days. Storm surge is going to be anywhere from 2 to 4 feet for South Carolina and Georgia coastline. For Florida, we're still seeing storm surge, but it's kind of starting to go down as the storm moves over northern Florida. I think Florida today is going to be the last day for y'all in terms of the impacts. But as we move into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it will shift into Georgia and South Carolina. So we're still dealing with storm surge down here into the Big Bend of Florida. But in terms of the overall impact from Debby to Florida, today is going to be the last day for y'all in terms of impacts. This will mostly move into Georgia and South Carolina as we get into tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. So storm surge 2 to 4 feet is probably going to get upgraded to 6 feet. Probably like 3 to 5, 6 feet of storm surge for this area, which is very bad because we also have to talk about the rain. And the rain is going to be the big impact with this storm. We're talking about catastrophic flooding into South Carolina, maybe some parts of southeastern Georgia. As you can see on your screen, your eye immediately goes to this pinkish, purplish kind of color. I think this is pink. I don't know. This pinkish color. This is anywhere from 20 to 30 inches of rain. 20 to 30 inches of rain. That is 2 feet to 2.5 feet of rain possible into this area. So this is the Charleston area. This does include Hilton Head, Beaufort, maybe even Walterboro. This is going to be a historic flooding event for this area of the country of South Carolina. In that burgundy kind of darkish red color, we have anywhere from 16 to 20 feet of rain. So that includes Savannah up to near Myrtle Beach, Georgetown over to maybe even Manning, South Carolina. And then in that light kind of reddish color, so this color right here, this is anywhere from 12 to 16 inches of rain. So that's a foot of rain to 1.5 feet of rain. So this is for Wilmington over to Orangeburg, down to Brunswick, Georgia, and maybe even Waynesboro, Georgia. I'm trying to think of some towns to name. And then we have 8 to 12 inches of rain in this dark orange color. So this is for a good chunk of southeastern North Carolina, eastern South Carolina, over to much of southeastern Georgia, northern Florida, anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of rain, which that might include here in my area, here in Columbia, over to Florence, down to Jacksonville, of course, anywhere from 8 to 12. So that's half a foot, maybe to a foot of rain in my area. So yeah, it's going to be raining a lot over these next couple of days. And then in this little kind of, is that like darkish yellowish color? It's anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of rain. So pretty much if you live in South Carolina, southeastern Georgia, into southeastern North Carolina, and much of the state of northeastern North Carolina, you're going to be seeing a lot of rain from Debby in the next couple of days. Matter of fact, we have a flash flood risk over the next 5 days. We have a major flash flood risk, a high flash flood risk for the coast of South Carolina, eastern South Carolina, southeastern Georgia, parts of northern Florida. This is a high risk of seeing flash flooding. That means basically anywhere from an 80 to 100% chance, 70 to 100% chance of seeing significant flooding. So this is not a joke. This is very, very terrible. This is bad. This is very bad. And then that red color, we have anywhere from 60 to 70% chance of seeing moderate flooding. So that's bad too. So that does include Columbia, Augusta, over to Wilmington, down to Tallahassee. That is a 60 to 70% chance of seeing flooding. So it's going to be, this storm is going to be very impactful in terms of flooding. I think the wind is going to be a big issue as well, especially if the storm increased from a tropical storm to a Cat 1 hurricane. The wind is going to be a big issue, but I think the flooding is going to be potentially life threatening, catastrophic, historic flooding. This might break records in terms of like days of rain in one day. This might break some records in terms of that. So, yeah, this is going to be a big issue for South Carolina, especially coastal sections of South Carolina. So, let me pull up the tropical. I don't know why I didn't have this on my computer. Pull up the future outlook for this. Let's time out this storm. Let me pull up my model. It's going really slow, guys, so just be patient with me. Okay, there we go. Let me pull up the Southeast US. Okay, so we got it down pack. Okay, so let me share this tab. All right, so here is the GFS model for this for Debby. As we get into later on today, you can see it slowly moves across southeastern Georgia. As we get into tomorrow, the GFS is still indicating that this storm is going to literally turn around, get out to the Atlantic, strengthen, and turn back around and hit Georgia again, which is kind of strange. But this is how far, this is the new model that just came out. This is how far it goes out. As far as Thursday, you can see it literally just turns back, goes into the Atlantic and turns right back into southern Georgia and brings a lot of rain into southern Georgia. So that is the GFS model. In terms of the European model, in terms of the European model, let me go back. Okay, so in terms of the European model, oh God, my Chromebook. Okay, in terms of the European, I've said European like 3 times now. As we get into later on today, you can see it moves into southeastern Georgia, brings a lot of rain, tornadoes. I forgot about the tornado risk. I'll explain that in a bit. Into southeastern Georgia, then it moves into the Atlantic as we get into Wednesday morning, and then it literally just twirls around into the Atlantic just off the coast of South Carolina, strengthens again, potentially into a Cat 1, Cat 2 hurricane, makes landfall into the Grand Strand. So this is kind of like the National Hurricane Center's forecast. Makes landfall into the Grand Strand of South Carolina. The Myrtle Beach area brings a lot of rain into eastern South Carolina. And then this is how far it goes out into 8 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. But you can tell, look how this rain into eastern South Carolina, back into Columbia, Florence. It's just going to be a mess. This storm is going to be a mess. But now let's get into tornadoes, because we also have tornadoes with this storm as well. So let me go back to here. Go back to severe weather. I forgot about the tornado risk, guys. This is a lot going on today. In the next couple of days, it's going to be a lot going on in my area of South Carolina. So today we have a slight risk of seeing severe weather, mainly just tornadoes. This does extend into the coastal regions of South Carolina and Georgia, as this storm kind of pushes out into it's starting to now move into Georgia and South Carolina. As we get into tomorrow, the risk mainly stays into the coastal regions of South Carolina and Georgia. So Savannah up to Charleston, we'll see see a quick spin up or two of tornadoes, because we're dealing with that as well. So, whoo! It seems that I have talked a lot with Debby. I wish I can pull up the radar right quick to see how Debby is doing right now. Um, I've talked a lot in this video, guys. Um, let me see. Let me pull up the radar real quick. Um, let me go down a little bit, guys. It's loading real quick. Okay, there we go. It's just loading very slowly. But yeah, this storm is moving through my area right now. So let me pan out real quick. Let me full screen this. Here's Debby right now as is just made landfall over here near Florida. Here comes all of this rain starting to move into Georgia, South Carolina. This will make bring some tornadoes, especially later on today into South Carolina and Georgia. We do have tornado watches for Jacksonville, northern Florida, into the coastal areas of Georgia right now. But you can see how Debby is right now. Just weekend, there's the eye, right? Well, not the eye, the core of the eye wall of Debby right here. And you can see it is moving. It is moving right now, just off the coast of. It is moving just now off the coast of South Carolina and Georgia. So, anywho, that's a lot. I've talked a lot. I know this video is like 15 minutes, but Debby is going to be a big issue as we get into later on today and into the next couple of days. So thank you all for watching this video for today. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Hopefully in, I don't know, this it's going to be raining a lot here. So I don't know if the power is going to go out Tuesday or Wednesday. So hopefully Wednesday I'll see y'all again for another update on Debby. So thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.